It's time to storm the palace, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Nighthold, the center of Nightborn civilization. It's the third raid of the Legion expansion and the capstone to the Suramar storyline. So let's dive into its background and then run down the bosses for you. The Nighthold is significant because of what it holds, the Nightwell. It is a font of magic powered by the Eye of Aman'Thul, the last pillar of creation that Khadgar's been asking us to find. Back in the day when the Well of Eternity exploded and shattered the continents, the citizens of Suramar used the Nightwell to create a shield around their city to keep it intact. And once it was over, they just decided never to lower it. The city ran out of food, so the elves decided to consume the energy that came from the Nightwell instead. They even made wine out of it, those classy bastards. 10,000 years of this evolved the elves into the Nightborn, or the Shal Dorai, who can only subsist off of magic. This is different from the High and Blood Elves' addictions. While those two were simply addicted, Nightborn simply cannot survive without magic. Anyone without it became Nightfallen, in which they became thin and emaciated, but could be restored. And then the next step is Withered, in which they became mindless and incurable. Stuff happened in the Suramar storyline to offer an alternative to the Nightwell, but that's a story for another day. So 10,000 years passed, and wouldn't you know, the Legion came a-knockin'. Gul'dan said they could lower the shield and give them access to the Nightwell, or they'll wreck the city and take it anyway. In steps Elisande, the leader of the Nightborn. She agrees, and now the Nightborn are allied with the Legion because, well, they wanted to live. Gul'dan took up on the Nighthold where the well is, and now we're heading in to beat them up. Caught up now? Great. Let's get in there. In the first section, the Arcing Aqueducts, we have Scorpyron. This sucker isn't a defense system, it's just a giant scorpion who made its home back here and got warped by the energies of the Nightwell. Other than, oh cool, giant bug, this is a good example of how the intense power of the Nightwell changes creatures who simply live near it. It's no wonder the elves can sustain themselves off it. The Nightwell seems to alter your very being. Either way, squash this bug for loot and let's move on. Next up on the list is a chronomatic anomaly. I don't think we can stress enough that this thing is dangerous. They should slap a warning label on it or something. But anyway, other than being a big energy dude, this fella showcases another important part of Nightwell lore, the Eye of Aman'Thul's power over time. You see, Aman'Thul was the guy who gave the Bronze Dragonflight their power over the timeways, so it makes sense that a powerful artifact from him would grant that as well. There are some interesting theories about time manipulation in the Nightwell, but we won't be going into them here. Onward and upward. Trilliax is a funny one. He's a giant arcane construct who's been left to rot. This sucker must be at least 20 feet tall, and he's programmed to dispense cake? Seriously, this is an excellent example of the arrogance and decadence of the Nightborn nobles. They built a giant, dangerous construct to clean and dispense food and then just forgot about it in the basement. That's like building a vacuum cleaner / easy bake oven the size of a truck and leaving it in your basement because you have like 6 others. Oh, and of course he's gone a little haywire since he was left alone, so he swaps personalities and throws toxic cake at people. Neat. Break this oversized toy and move on to the Royal Athenaeum. Oh look! Real people now. Spellblade Aluriel, Star Augur Atreus, and High Botanist Talarn are the 3 Nightborn who use the Nightwell to advance their study of magic, astronomy, and botany to levels almost unrecognizable by us normal folk. They make up the Royal Athenaeum, and I'm grouping them together for one major reason. This is what happens when you mess around with artifacts way more powerful than you. You get changed, like the botanist who's a living weed now, or you end up being irresponsibly powerful. But more importantly, your identity becomes intertwined with the magic that you stole from. Who would these 3 be without the magic of the Nightwell? No one. They're no longer individuals. They are part of the living organism that feeds off the Nightwell. An organism that has become corrupt and must be purged. So purge away, heroes, and let's move on to the Nightspire. Croesus, the living roadblock. You saw him on the Broken Shore when he killed Tyrion Fordring, and we beat him back into the green lava. He's a Doom Lord, demons whose only job is to be huge. And he does huge well. Look at his hugeness. Yeah, I don't really have much to say here. He's a big ugly demon, you should kill his face. Next. Tichondrius, yes! I love the Dreadlords, they're such conniving bastards. Okay, so this fella's from Warcraft 3. Specifically, he's the Dreadlord who was supposed to command the Scourge. This guy was responsible for directing Arthas to kill Uther the Lightbringer, siege Dalaran, burn down Quel'Thalas, and resurrect Kel'Thuzad in the Sunwell and taint it for years to come. All of this was in the name of summoning Archimonde to go wreck some stuff. After Archimonde was summoned, he was handed full control of the Scourge and headed over to Kalimdor, where he was single-handedly responsible for the corruption of Felwood using the skull of Gul'dan. It was here that Arthas betrayed him, telling Illidan where to find the Dreadlord. The Demon Hunter did his job of killing the demon, and Arthas was free to pursue his goal of becoming the Lich King. However, demons only die if they're killed in the Twisting Nether, so once he reformed, his new job was to watch Gul'dan at the Nighthold and make sure he didn't betray his masters, or fail his masters. Gul'dan was reportedly not a fan of being micromanaged and lodged a complaint with HR. Next up we have Elisande, and she is no normal Nightborn. She is the ruler of the Nightborn and has a history of needing to make tough decisions. It was her decision to use the Eye of Aman'Thul to create the Nightwell and the barrier that saved her people from the Sundering, betraying Queen Azshara at this time by sealing a major Legion portal in what would later become the Tomb of Sargeras before they did the whole portal shenanigan thing. It was her decision to keep the barrier up for 10,000 years that led to their transformation into the Nightborn, and once again her decision to ally with the Legion in order to save her people. She is a haughty individual, yes, but not evil. She used time magic of the Nightwell to scry into the future and believes the only future in which the Nightborn survives is one where the raid fails to kill her or Gul'dan. She's defeated 3 times in this fight, rewinding time twice to her advantage before she's finally killed. Her spirit returns though, shocked at the outcome, and chooses to betray the Legion and help the raid in the upcoming fight with Gul'dan in order to atone. Her spirit fades away afterwards, presumably at peace. This fight raises some interesting questions here. Why was her scrying into the future incorrect when the Bronze Dragon flights is normally correct? Was it the Legion who gave her those visions, or someone else? Not to mention quotes said by Il'gynoth from the Emerald Nightmare raid that line up with this event. It's one hell of a rabbit hole though, so we'll traverse that in another video. And finally we have Gul'dan at the top. He is working to use the Nightwell to infuse Sargeras' spirit into the body of Illidan Stormrage, creating a new avatar. We, of course, beat his green ass into the dirt and stop him. This is the part where I would go into Gul'dan's history, but that's a huge subject that I feel would be better left for its own video, especially given that there are 2 Gul'dans and this one's from an alternate timeline. But the short version relevant to the raid is this is the orc who is responsible for this expansion pack happening by stealing Illidan's body, opening a new portal in the Tomb of Sargeras, and forcing the Nightborn to ally with the Legion. He killed Varian and Tyrion, and was responsible for the death of Vol'jin as well. Everything we hit this guy with, he has coming and more. Alas, we do not strike the final blow. At the end of the fight, Illidan is revived and kills the Warlock, shattering his skull and then asks the players to follow him into the Abyss. Didn't know he was a fan of James Cameron movies, but I guess 10 years roaming as a spirit without a body requires a man to pick up some hobbies. And from here, our adventures will lead us into the Tomb of Sargeras and beyond, to the Legion home base of Argus. There are lots more demons to kill, heroes, so let's get on it. Thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like, share, and subscribe buttons, and take care, everybody.